This is a Baird's tapir. He's only a few days old. Isn't he just gorgeous? His name is Pacha. They're endangered in the wild. Fewer than 5,000 are left. Much of the rainforest where Baird's tapirs live in Central America have been lost, and they've been overhunted for their meat. But thanks to the hard work and dedication of conservationists here at the Audubon Nature Institute near New Orleans in the USA, we're getting our first glimpse at this little ray of hope. I'm Jada Elcock, and this is your first chance to see. We'll be meeting Bob Less now in a minute to find out more about Pacha, but first, here's everything you need to know about the Baird's tapir. There are 4 species of tapirs currently on planet Earth, 3 live in the Americas, and 1 lives in Asia, and unfortunately, they are all under threat. Tapirs may not be the first jungle animal you think of, but they're an important part of their ecosystems, foraging for leaves, fruits, and berries, and spreading the tree's seeds in their droppings as they go. What you can't quite tell is just how big they can grow, similar in size to a domesticated pig. But they're actually more closely related to rhinos and horses. And thanks to their size, they don't have very many predators. Jaguars, crocs, and alligators will try, but it's really humans that are their biggest threat. But this little one was born at Audubon Nature Institute. Here's Bob to tell us a bit more about their work. Back to you, Bob.
Hello, my name is Bob Lesnaw. I am the Vice President, General Curator for the Audubon Zoo.
Bob, can you tell us a bit about Pacha's birth? How did it happen, and how did you prepare for it?
So the Audubon Zoo received a breeding pair of Baird's tapirs. They have a gestation period of about 13 months. And so Pacha was born on July 2nd of 2021. He's developed very nicely. He's bonded with his mother. There's been little, if any, human intervention. Currently, he is a little over 100 pounds. He's been introduced to our main exhibit now for the public to see. Again, he's still very bonded to his mom. He'll be that way for about another year or so. It's just exciting every day to see Pacha in his environment, and then he continues to grow and develop. Things are going very nicely right now.
So how does protecting tapirs help the rainforests?
If we think about all the animals that live in the same environment as the tapir, if we protect those areas where the tapir basically ranges, we're protecting a lot of other animals that live alongside the tapir. That's why it's considered an umbrella species, because it occupies an environment that are homes to a lot of other different animals. So if we focus on the tapir and we come up with some strong conservation measures to protect that animal, we'll be protecting a lot of other animals in the effort also.
What does this mean for Baird's tapirs in the wild?
Within the last few years, the status has changed to an endangered animal. Unfortunately, this animal is seeing pressures from habitat destruction and pressures from local hunting. So the numbers in the wild are estimated below 5,000. Our captive population is below 50 animals. Currently, we're looking at about 43 animals that are found in only 15 institutions. So again, we look at all 4 species of tapirs, 3 out of the 4 currently are listed as endangered.
And how does captive breeding help Baird's tapirs in the wild?
We have a program within the Association of Zoos and Aquariums called SSPs, and these are species survival plans that look at the sustainability of these species in captivity by monitoring their genetics, recommending breeding recommendations. So we're trying to increase the genetic diversity within captive populations while increasing their numbers. Pacha's birth is significant because, it represents another individual in the captive population. So, eventually Pacha will mature, and so we'll move Pacha to another institution to carry on the breeding and hopefully increase the numbers. And what we learn from studying these animals in captivity will be applied to how we can preserve their species in the wild and help increase those numbers. And that's why this is so significant. We're trying to keep the species alive.
Now, very important question. How do you name a tapir calf? The answer? Let it choose its own name. I'll let Bob explain.
The staff provided 3 names, and each of those names were set up on a box that contained some of the calf's favorite food items. And Pacha was the name that the calf selected for itself, and that's what we've gone with today.
Well, it's a good thing we don't use that method because I'd be called spaghetti and garlic bread. Hang on a minute, I hear you say. What about the elephant in the room? We got to the end of a tapir video and no one's mentioned that crazy nose. Well, just like elephants, tapirs use that nose to grab food. But elephants and tapirs evolved that nose entirely separately. Convergent evolution at its finest, my friends. There's one to impress your friends with. Good luck, Pacha, and thanks so much, Bob. Keep up the good work.